run a local recording as well. Okay, now we're recording locally, so if something goes wrong with Blackboard or anything, I can manage that. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's do something good. Okay. All right. If something really goes wrong, and by something really goes wrong, I mean if you lose your connectivity to the internet, you don't have any network, or Big Blue Button servers go down, which has never happened before, but just in case. We have a backup plan to hold our classes on Zoom. And where you can find that, that's where you can find it. Let me go back to Big Blue Button first. Uh, this is, so again, here, I have put a, right below join class, there is connectivity notes. So this is our backup plan, people, for joining our class if Big Blue Button didn't work. So if you came and saw, okay, now it's 5 minutes after 11, it's 11:45 or something, uh, then something is wrong. You will realize something is wrong, and this is where our class will be held if that happens. This is the Zoom link. Never use it. I'm not there. Nobody is there except for the time that something really bad happens, and that has not happened before, but just in case. So keep in mind, this is your backup plan. And for connectivity, there are some advice here. You can some piece of advice you can find here is which is good for troubleshooting. It's always good if you have phone plans that you can use to connect. If you lose your wireless wireless connection, just review this after this lecture. Um, you can use a neighbor's wireless if you can hack into it, or a coffee shop, or your phone. Your phone is the best you can use if this happens and you lose connection to the internet. Then let me know as soon as you face a real problem, people. Not when you are tired, or when you know what I'm talking about. Not in that moment, right? When you're really, really facing a problem, let me know. Send me an email, or uh, as soon as you reconnect, send me an email and let me know what happened. But I hope that doesn't happen during this term to anybody. Okay, I see many versions of me in a multiverse here. That tells me now we should uh, stop sharing the first screen and start sharing the second one, which takes us to our lecture today. Okay, guys. When I say guys, that doesn't mean, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but uh, obviously, our strength is in diversity. Uh, we 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 sometimes we barely speak English. Uh, we English is my second language. I know some folks, some sometimes may say, "What? What are you talking about? I cannot even understand." If that happens, please let me know. Tell me what, just like that. Tell me what? What are you talking about? I don't understand. I'll try to make things as clear as possible. So don't be shy of anything. Our strength is in diversity. Especially, we need more women into ICT industry. Go check stats. We need more women. It's ICT. Even though there are many female people working at ICT, but still, it's a kind of manly industry. It's been so far. We don't like that. Our strength is in diversity, accepting people uh, from any background, male, female, together. Together, let's build better applications that may lead us to a better world. I'm a fan of Meta, by the way. If you guys are, we are already friends. Um, okay, are we good so far? Do I talk too much? All right, let's publish this poll. 28 people said that they can see. Okay, now I'm gonna post a poll about your operating systems. It's an important thing we should solve first. So here the poll comes. It says, what is your operating system? What is an operating system is another question that we will discuss. But now I want to know uh, a Windows, B, Mac, C, Linux, D, others. Okay, please respond to this poll. Okay, that's what I was expecting. Well, except for, all right. Yeah, keep going. Now we have 3 people. Yeah, that makes it all. We have 34 participants. One of them is me, so 30, 34. Okay, I guess we're good. That's what we expect to see. Very good. I'm gonna publish this poll. Please respond to this. Those people who have not. Respond 1, respond 2, respond 3. Sold. Okay. As you can see, do you see the results of the poll? Who doesn't see the result? Okay, good. You don't see the results? Uh, Prajat, do you see the results or you don't see? You can type in. You have mic. Tell me, do you see or not? Guys, I just posted this this poll. So 26 people said Windows, 3 people said Mac, 1 person said Linux, and 2 said others. Okay, among those cannot see. Okay, let me see where the result is. I'm gonna fix that problem. Not in public chat, in shared notes, maybe? No. Okay, no worries. No worries. Please write in shared notes, which you see now. Please write those 2 people who said others. Please let me know what operating systems you're using. Paul. So Paul, what are you using? Gurmak. Naveen. People. Just those 2 people who said, or maybe type something. You can talk. You can talk. if you have Mac, which you should, please tell me what other operating systems you're using. You're facing, I'm sorry, my mic is not working. No worries. You can fix it for the next time, but please fix it. We need mics. We want this to be. No, it's good. I know those people who are using Windows, Mac, and Linux. We're good with them. Uh, Two people said others. If that was a mistake, then we're good. But if it was not, please let me know what other operating systems you're using. All right, then I assume that was a, yeah, Windows is fine. Windows 10 is fine. Mac is fine. Well, everything is fine. I just need to know so that I can help you. A standard platform, in this course and all the courses at Seneca is Windows 10, and there is a very clear reason for that. As you saw, 89% of people uh, are Windows users, and that applies to the whole world. So in North America, the percentage of Mac users are a little bit higher compared to worldwide. It's around 20% to 80% North America, but overall in the world, it's 90% to 10%. So the standard platform is Windows, but Mac users are also welcome. Linux users are also very welcome. Uh, but you have to do something. You have to go to. Now, let me share this first one again. My first screen. Okay. I have, if you go to announcements, we have two links here. There are two things you can do if you're already familiar and have uh, this capability and have installed this, have used this, you're good to go. But if not, you have two choices. You either, if you come here, you either need to do a boot camp. And by boot camp, we mean you have one machine, one computer, but two parallel operating systems. So you have a Mac, and then you do this boot camp and install Windows. Obviously, Windows is going to occupy some of the resources of your machine, like your RAM, your hard disk, and obviously when it's running, some of your CPU, GPU, everything, all the resources. This is one way. Boot camping is one way. Please take a look at this YouTube video. I found this useful for those who want to do boot camp. Mac users, Windows people, we're good. You don't need to do anything. But Mac users, please take a look at this video if you want to choose to to do boot camp. Boot camp is gives one of these operating systems at a time. You cannot have them both at the same time. But in terms of speed, this is a better way than the second one, which is virtual machine. Why? Because as I said, only one of them is available at any given time, and only one of them will use those resources, like CPU. So speed, you will not feel any slowdown in the speed if you do boot camp. The other alternative is a better alternative for this course, but may not be the best in general. So like if you have a game that you want to install on Windows, virtual machine may not be like if you need a lot of resources, your machine resources, Bootcamp might work better for you. But for the purpose of this course, virtual machine is a better way. I've also recommended a video here. Please take a look at this just to familiarize yourself with how you can install virtual machine. What is the difference? Virtual machine is basically a machine, an operating system inside another operating system. So you have your Mac is running, and you can run a virtual machine, and that gives you another operating system. You can turn it on, you can shut it down, and this is a completely independent operating system. You can install programs, you can work there, and as soon as you're done, you can just shut down, you go back to your Mac. Can slow down a little bit your machine because it's now an operating system on top of another operating system, shared resources, and all that. But this works perfectly fine for the purpose of our course. Um, here is a link for this VMware Fusion. Since I'm not a Mac user, I have not tested this, but other colleagues have tested. This works perfectly fine. It's free. You can go here, VMware Fusion. You can download, use a free version for your personal use, and just install this, and then you will need to install Windows on your machine. If you pay, you have to pay for license, which is not that expensive. If it is personal, which yours is, and it is good because you are becoming little by little professional developers. So it's good to have Windows. You can install anytime, anywhere, on any machine. So it's good to purchase a license and also uh, install that using your VMware. There is a this is your job, please. People who are not Windows are not on Windows. This is your job. Please go ahead. You have to do this by the end of this week because that's when your activity will be due. And for the activity, I'll walk you through it. You will need Visual Studio to be able to code and to be able to submit your activity. So go ahead and do this. Uh, any question? Are we good so far? So just to ask you one more time, uh, are non-Windows operating system users okay with what I just said? Type in the public chat or share notes, maybe. Yeah, shared notes. You can type there. Vitali, those non-Windows operating system users, are you good with what I said? You need to install virtual machine or bootcamp to be able to have Windows as well. Very good. I think you're good with that. Okay. Any questions? Any questions so far? Please unmute yourself and ask question anytime that it comes to your mind.
No, sir.
Okay. I heard
No, sir.
two voices. Okay, all good. All good. Very good. That's the next thing I wanted.
Sorry, sir. You called my name a
Yeah.
couple seconds ago?
I saw your name and I thought you're one of those non-Windows users, so I just
Oh,
wanted
no,
to.
no. I have Windows. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure those non-Windows users are good to go
Okay,
and
no
they
worries.
understood. Thank you. Okay, let's see what we have in the announcement. Okay, I again have to share my first screen. Okay, let's take a look at the announcement we have made. So every week we have lectures at 11:40 a.m. EST time. Uh, please join class on time and come in with your mic on. And please join Microsoft Teams by clicking here. I've put the link here. Please click and ask for access. Please install Microsoft Office 365. That means Microsoft Office for every single day of the year. You have this as a free tool as Seneca students. So install this. Another thing I want you to install is Microsoft Teams. I know there is this web version people use, people can use, but it doesn't have the full functionality as the app has. So please go ahead and install Microsoft Teams app. You might take a look at some tutorial PowerPoint on how to use Microsoft Teams, and then please download this. It's very important that your communications all go through myseneca.ca, because the spam filter on Seneca webmail server is very harsh. It may filter your email, and I or other students may never receive your emails. If you're using Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Hotmail, I know these are old stuff, but anyways, especially Gmail if you're using, please try not to communicate with other Gmails, with other emails, and just send your emails with your MySeneca email. Uh, let's keep everything. This is my suggestion. Let's keep everything on Teams. Please send your questions on our Teams. Um, and obviously, there's more people. Your question may be somebody else's question. So if you send an email, um, you may not receive an answer because this is the same question that somebody else has asked in Teams. So try to post on Teams your questions. You will receive a reply much sooner than if you send just ask me your question through email. And other people can see your questions, and this way they can avoid repeating the same question. Just this way we can have an archive of all the questions, all the answers, what's going on, announcements and everything. But I will post announcements regularly, especially on Monday and Tuesday, if like to let you know if you need to be ready for something, for during the lecture or so. So you will receive emails from me, as you have already received, I think 3 or 4 emails. Sorry if it was too many emails, but you will receive emails from me. So please regularly check your Seneca email. Um this course will walk you through uh, what is necessary to become an ICT professional. So it gives you a bird view of what's going on in ICT. It will teach you some fundamental skills that you will probably use until the end of your professional life. for 30 years from now. So please try to grasp these concepts, try to learn, try to practice. One thing in ICT, in programming, is muscle memory, guys. Don't just rely on what you see when it comes to learning. Try it. What you see is okay. It tells you how to do things, but it doesn't really stick to your memory unless you try. Muscle memory is important. So try to write down the code, um, try the things that you see and you're learning. Uh, Academic integrity is very important. What does academic integrity mean? Who knows what academic integrity means? We need a volunteer, people. Academic
Sir,
integrity.
it's basically
Vitali,
yeah,
what is academic integrity?
it's basically the students agreeing to not plagiarize or cheat when handing in assignments.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Thank you so much. Perfect answer for this question. Guys, I know, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it this way. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's sometimes uh, it's very tempting, right? Sometimes you have so many things to do, especially it happens um, 2 or 3 weeks from now. You have many assignments from different courses, uh, presentations, assignments, midterm, things come up, but never ever, please, do copy anything, even a single line of code or a single sentence from other people. Uh, you will see in the future how bad it is, and even if nobody can catch you, you will see this is the worst habit. I'm calling this habit. This is the worst habit that you can develop, and this is a poison to your career in the future. Never ever do that. If you cannot, I will tell you what I expect from you in a minute. Uh, but just keep this in mind, please. If you cannot do uh, an activity by the deadline, please let me know. We can talk about it. And if I see that you're an active person in class. By the way, we have all the stat: who answered to what question, who did what. I'll show you. Big Blue Button does that for me. Uh, Talk to me, tell me, and if I see everything is good, and this week you have some problem, you cannot do this by the deadline, let me know. We can solve it. I can give you extension. Don't worry. Don't worry about asking me for extension. If you are really doing your best, you're really doing your best, but you have so many things going on that, like week 7, you tell me, okay, I'm not able to submit this on time. Please give me some, like, 24 hours extension. I'm fine with that. But never try to copy and paste. Um, Please don't do that. Uh, that's my humble request from all of you. I will show you. You don't even need to do that because we have decided to. I will show you for quizzes and for activities. It's not that you're required to submit all of them. So out of quizzes and out of all the um, all the activities that you submit, two of them, two of the worst scores will be eliminated automatically. So don't worry. Just just do it yourself. Be yourself, do it yourself, and this way, I'm sure we will get the most of our course this semester. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That plagiarism is very important. Another thing is we will have, as I said, to pass this course for those who think, who have question how I can pass this course. The minimum requirement to pass this course is to get 50. And you should get 50 for all the weekly quizzes, except like we will throw away 2 of them, and we will consider 8. We have 10 quizzes. In 8 quizzes, you should get about 50%. We have activities. These activities, we have 11 activities. One of them is today. We'll go through it today, and we will see what an activity is. So again, we will throw away 2 of these activities. 9 activities. You need to get about 50%. 20% is your final project, which will be week 12, 13, and 14. So the last 3 weeks of our term, we will focus on that project. It's fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So that's should be submitted, and if it is complete, you can get 20% of the grade for that. And so far, it's 96%. 4% is for group presentations. Starting from week 3, we will have group presentations, and the presentation topic will be chosen by you. You will first make a group of 3 to 4 people, and then each group will come and present just for 5 minutes. It can be even a recorded video, but everybody should agree if only one person is going to present or all of you are going to present a part of it. And it's going to be a new trend in ICT. So for that, you may subscribe to some news feeds in the ICT industry. This is one of them. Tech Beacon is one of them. So I'm putting the link here. If I can find, after 3 years, if I can find where to put it. Public chat. Yes, let's put it public chat. See, I didn't even look at this public chat. Let me install C in our laptop. I got only, sorry, I need to. You got 70% for Pedro. You got 70% for academic integrity, because that's fine. That's a pass, I guess. I'll look into it. Don't worry. Thank you so much. Let me see. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, we're going to have fun first, and then while we have fun, we want to learn stuff, because that's what will build our future, right? You will get paid by money for what you learn today, and becomes your skill. And in this course, you will be paid by points, by grades, by scores, right? This is some kind of payment, right? I know it's not by money, but still it's one kind of payment. So see yourself from now, professional ICT people, and collaborate with your colleagues. Your colleagues are other students in this class, and through Microsoft Teams, you can collaborate with them and collaborate as much as possible. Share ideas, talk about things, and that's what will make a big difference 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and that will give you motivation to go see what's trending in ICT and what you can do. Okay, that's it. So I just gave you a breakdown. 10 quizzes minus 2, 8 quizzes, 50% should be achieved. 11 activities, and out of those 11 activities, throw 2 of them away. 9 activities, 50+%. 1 presentation, group presentation, 4%, and 20% final project. And I'm sure you will all pass. I'm a very generous person. I really, you know, it's not very important if I'm not a tough person in grading or so. So don't worry about that. Just do your best. This is the most important thing. I want to make sure you do your best. You do your best. Come to the class, learn things, and try to apply what you have learned during quiz and activities. Obviously, at the end of the term for the project. Very good. Of course,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
Okay, so Sanjana
Yeah,
and Simrat, please don't ask if I can talk or something. Just unmute yourself and talk, of course.
thank you. Actually, I tried to get myself into the Microsoft Teams group, but
Okay.
I was not getting through it. Like I signed in, but it didn't work. It just puts me back to the first place.
Send me a screenshot of what you see and I'll fix it.
Where can I send it?
Are you receiving an error?
No, like when I click on the link that's given there to join the Microsoft Teams group,
Let's try. Did
I
you?
just don't get anywhere.
Let me see. Are you clicking on this link?
Yes.
You click on this, it gets you to Microsoft Teams. You have to. Oh, by the way, you have to be logged in using your Seneca credentials. Is this taking you to a login page or this page?
No, I tried it on my phone. So I have the app installed.
Huh. Still, send me an. So as soon as you click on the link, you don't see any change. Is that what you're saying?
No, as soon as I click on the link, it takes me to the Microsoft Teams page, and then
Okay.
I'm asked to log in there.
Okay.
So should I put my Seneca ID there, like,
Obviously.
or my Gmail? Okay.
No, your Seneca email, obviously. Seneca, if you don't, okay, very good question. Very good question. Thank you so much. If you should, for the login to Microsoft Teams, you should use your Seneca email because this is automatically set. Microsoft Teams is not a free software. So it is set under your membership through Seneca College. So you have to use your email so that Microsoft Teams knows that you're a Seneca member. And Simrat, did you have a question?
Thank you.
Thank you. Simrat, did you have a question? No, I'm not able to join the group. Please, please log in with your Seneca credentials and it should be okay. Okay, wonderful. Now I'm gonna start a lecture today. We have PowerPoint slides. And from time to time, by the way, if I don't look at this public chat, which I may not look like occasionally I do, but please just unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, wonderful. This is where we are. And let's start. This is I think I talked about me. One good question. What do you expect from me? Please unmute yourself and tell me what you expect from me. Anything you want me to do, any technique you want me to apply, let me
I
know.
just expect for you to have clear instructions on what to do for the assignments and not have anything confusing or contradictory to
Hmm.
stop us from succeeding in the course.
I see. Vitali, that's very valid. Yes, for the activities you will see they are very very related to what you learn that week in class, and then you go and apply what you have learned to the activities. I myself try to be as clear as possible, but as I said, you are very welcome. Whenever you don't understand, you just unmute yourself and ask question. If I can explain in a better way, I will definitely do. If at the end of the day, again, you're not convinced or you don't get your what you want, you didn't understand that, we can be in touch after the class. Don't worry, no worries about that. Thank you. We'll try to do. And Juvraj, go ahead, please. I guess you raised your hand to tell me what you expect from me. Juvraj, is this your question? We need to install C in our laptop. What do you mean by C? If you mean C, you mean like for C, things you need for C programming? Is that what you mean? C compiler or something? Is that?
I think they mean the C language.
C language. I see. So we don't have C language. C, if you mean by install something related to C, I will explain that. That's Microsoft Visual Studio, where you write your code, you edit your code, you debug your code in C language or C++ or whatever, and then compile it. So it does everything for you. Obviously, I will walk you through that. Thank you so much for reminding me to do the programming. Yes, exactly what I'll explain. Yeah, this is Microsoft Visual Studio. Wonderful, amazing, commercial grade, professional tool for you until the rest of, no, things keep changing very quickly. But at least for the next 5-10 years, I guess everybody will use Microsoft Visual Studio for coding. You're very welcome. Any expectations from me, people? Please. Only Vitaly expected me to do something? Ladies, ladies of class, please be active. All right, that I assume we're good until now. Any questions so far? No question? Okay. Uh, Agenda for today is we will talk about storing and organizing data, which is important. You might think you know, but there are things you will say, so there are some of those times that you say, that solves my problem. I didn't know this. So today we will talk about some of these uh, principles of storing and organizing data on your computer. Also, I will show you where to basically download and install Visual Studio, how to create a new project, and we will basically write a simple code on that. It's basically a hello world program, very simple. We will do that. There is a difference between abbreviation and acronym. So an abbreviation is a short for a word that you have to pronounce it letter by letter, like SDDS. You cannot read it as a word. Other examples are CPU, right? FPU. But when it comes to acronyms, we can pronounce them as a word. RAM is one of those, or ITAS is one of those. These acronyms are important, especially in ICT. Every day you have new acronyms that you don't know the meaning. So this is a good place to learn some of the basic ones. So in the future, when you're sitting in front of an interviewer and he's using one of these abbreviations or acronyms, you don't say, let me Google that. That's the end of your interview, right? It's to some extent acceptable if you don't know what an acronym or an abbreviation stands for, but it shouldn't happen like for all of them. So we should be, as professional people, we should be familiar with some of those. So SDDS stands for Software Design and Data Science. That's the school you are in, and you're enrolled in its programs. And ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology. So it was first IT, information technology, then after this internet era and communication, different type of communication medium, people said, okay, communication is also a part of it, and it became ICT. The goal here is to give you a word view of what's going on in ICT. And you will be professional people. Who is a professional person? Could you please, some people unmute themselves and tell me who a professional person is, like a professional ICT programmer or something. Who would you call a professional?
Somebody with good knowledge and experience in the said industry.
Well, what you defined can include hobbyists as well. I might do something as a hobby, or from time to time share my code on GitHub so that people in industry can use, but still I'm not a professional.
Like someone who works for in ICT industry as a professional, like as a profession.
Exactly. A person that is getting paid for what he or she is doing. So you need to get paid first to be categorized as a professional person. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. You should get paid for what you do, and that's the meaning of a professional person. In other words, a professional is someone who does a good job, even when they don't want to. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, there are times that you're so tired, a friend is calling, a party is going on, you really don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but as a professional, you have to. I'm so sorry for myself and you, because at those times we have to do, because we are professionals. So that is keep that and bear that in your mind. Along the way, you will have a lot of these occasions. So I consider you professional programmers, usually, typically, for developing some professional programs, for testing them, for basically communicating with multiple servers or stuff like that. Linux family of operating systems is a better choice because they give you a terminal. You can communicate with that machine, with that server, only using terminal. There's no GUI interface, and sometimes, most of the time, it's a better approach. It's more efficient. So we call this a StarNix family. StarNix family is the family of operating systems that end in NIX or NUX, and they have this. They share the same core. Oh, by the way, what's an operating system? Before that, let's see. Who knows what an operating system is? Please answer. What's an operating system? What if we didn't have an operating system? What does it do? Why do we even need it?
It's kind of a program like that should be installed on a computer or laptop beforehand that runs all the other applications.
Wonderful. Yes. It's basically an interface that connects hardware to user applications. It does many things in the background, behind the scene. You don't see those things, like memory allocations, communicating with different part of hardware, getting some data from your application, sending to the Bluetooth hardware, then that goes that Bluetooth hardware sends it to whatever receiver, LAN. So without this, into something in between hardware and your application that you're running, uh, you are not able to do a good programming. Well, basically, we need this as an intermediate. Sorry, I realized you don't see me. Let me see. Okay. I turned on my webcam. Okay. Now I have to stop sharing from here. Very good. You will see me now. Okay, here I am. Yeah, without an operating system, uh, mm, you have it's basically impossible. You have to know every single thing about hardware, how to program that. Without an operating system, people would still be in the assembly language era, like 50 years ago. And one of the amazing operating systems that we have for developers is StarNix family. That is Unix, Linux, Red Hat, different flavors of Linux, which is an uh, open source software developed by Linus Torvalds. This guy is a Finnish programmer, data scientist, and believe it or not, he developed Linux in his basement, and then later he created Git. We will talk about Git later. So he's a genius. So Starnix, when you hear Starnix family, this is basically all those programs that have this Unix core in them. There are different flavors for different applications. We have Mac and Windows, as we are more familiar with them. In Windows, everything is automatic. You will see. That's why many people choose this, and this is also the graphical user interface helps uh, helps a lot when it comes to getting the most of it. Wonderful. Uh, so ultimate goal here is to know all the terminologies, to learn all the terminologies, at least be familiar what's going on, because in this industry, it's impossible to know everything. Even if you're learning on a daily basis, you will hear things that you didn't know before, and you have to go search and learn the new skill, the new programming language. Things are being born daily, new apps, new programming language, everything. So here you build a basis for understanding all these, and later on you have to keep learning uh, to keep yourself updated. Um, for the quizzes, that's why quizzes are not open book. They are closed book, open memory, open mind, open memory. Please don't Google for quizzes. You will have a 24-hour window starting uh, starting every Sunday 1 p.m. EST Toronto time, ending at 1 p.m. on Monday EST time. You can attempt it once, anytime during this time window, and you will have, depending on the quiz, typically 20 minutes to finish. Um, During this time, be honest with yourself. Uh, it's 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 very important. Try not to Google anything, and of course, don't look at the slides. And try to use things that you have learned. Obviously, you should review slides after the class, and also by doing the activities, they will be reviewed for you. But quizzes are close internet, close everything, open your mind. And by following those ICT news in this course, you will learn new trends in computer systems, programming, network, things like that. Um, it is not just programming, people. Sometimes we mistakenly think programming is solving a problem, but it's not. You first need to solve the problem. You might have done some flowchart or some pseudocode in the past. Uh, these are good practices. So first, know what the problem is. Try to suggest a solution using pseudocode and algorithm, stuff like that, and then try to program that. And that's a big yes in ICT. Also, it will make you familiar with hardware and software that you require along the path toward your professional career in near future. Uh, you will learn the basics about that. You will learn about licensing regulations, intellectual property, what is a GNU license, what is other type of licenses, and what if you have a new software and you want to get a license for. Um, Windows operating system, as I said, is a default template for this, and it is your job to use a Windows machine. And if you're using other operating systems, as I said, you have to use virtual machine or do boot camping to install Windows and run things in it. Each week, starting from week 3, by the way, it's not this week and it's not next week. Starting from week 3 until week 12, a group of people will present for 5 minutes some of the latest trends that they've picked in ICT industry. I will publish the list of people. If you want to I will ask you. Okay, I will ask you later if you have a preference on becoming a team with a friend that you already know, or no preference. Then, if no preference, I'll assign you a week with some friends so that together you can work on this presentation. It can be a live presentation given by one of the team members, or all of the team members, each presenting some part of it, or it can be a recorded video you can just play, and there will be a 2-3 minute Q&A question. Oh, I was explaining this slide. This is optional, by the way, because for people who didn't really want it, which I recommended, presentations. I know many of you are good with presentations, and even if you are not, the option is you can record a video and play that. So I guess this is just an optional, but I'm sure everybody will participate in it. By the way, you will lose 4% if you don't do this, which is not fine. A fight for every single percent of your score and grade. So go ahead, find a news service, a news feed for this, ICT news feed, of course. TechBeacon is one of those. I sent the link and I introduced you. And we will build our ICT vocabulary. TLAs are fun things. These are basically 3-letter acronyms. We use them a lot, and some people sometimes show off with them, like they know so many things. Like if somebody asks you what a CPU does, and then you use another TLA to explain what a CPU does, that he or she doesn't know, it's not a good answer. So we will know, we will start learning these acronyms little by little, and you'll know about them so that you can use them and you can explain them. Yeah, that's it. Lectures, we know lectures will take place on Wednesdays, and that is the week. So every Wednesday, except for that reading week, we have lectures at 11:40. After that, please go review slides. Slides will be available on where you have to log in to Learn Seneca. Go to course documents. You will see this week's material there, and this material includes these lecture presentation slides. All these slides will be available after our class finishes today, and you will see activity files. Those activity files are very important. These activity files, we will have 11 activities, and these activity files are exactly reflect how much you have learned from class. I will review today's activity later. We will throw away 2 of them. I explained. Weekly quiz. Oh, by the way, the deadline for activity submission is every Sunday by 12 a.m. 23:59 p.m. Right? So every time you're expected to submit an MS Word file, which is the summary of what you have done. It's basically in the form of a report. I will show you today. So you have to submit this. This is the deadline. Every Sunday by 12 a.m. let's say. I will show you how to submit those, and quiz is due after that. So every week activities are due by Sunday night. Every week quiz is due by Monday of the following week at 1 p.m. Standard. They will not change during the semester. So you have from Wednesday to Sunday, you have 4 days to complete your activity, and you have 5 days basically in that time window from Sunday 1 p.m. to Monday 1 p.m. You have this time window to attempt the quiz. Please do so. Again, we will throw away 2 quizzes, and we will pick the 8 best ones. Final project. Good news, good news. There is no exam, by the way. No midterm exam, no final exam. I know many people hate exams. Some people love exams. I don't know. I don't understand, but I love to have activities like this. So there is no exam. I take that as a good news. Back to questions, people. Oh, why did I do this? Back to questions. Any questions so far? Are we good with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's coming as a poll. Are we good? Any questions?
Sir, just wanted to ask you that like the projects or like the activities you are gonna give us, like it's gonna be like of coding or something like that, or something else it's gonna be there.
It's a mix. Good question. This is a mix of things that you learn. So this is not a programming course. It's not IPC the 144. It's not OP 244. We are not like, as I said, this course plays a role in building a basis for the knowledge that you need to have to be able to do your programming in a better way and to become a more knowledgeable professional. So it's not a programming course, but it has some tasks, as you will see. Like today's one of the parts is program. It's very simple C programming. You will see some of those, but this is a mixture. Good question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Het. Any other question? Good. Good. Very good. Public chat. I see. Yeah. Here. Why not? People, you can see final results published in public chat. So if you just click on public chat, you will see. Like I can see, 30 people said yes. 1% said no. Was that you, Het, that you asked your question, or it's another person?
No, sir. I didn't poll. No,
Okay.
I didn't poll.
You didn't. So who said no? Please ask your question. If no, it means you have a question. So please ask your question. Mr. or Mrs. No. Ask your question, please. Why are you no? I asked, are you good so far? You said no.
That wasn't me, actually. But yes, actually, this is random, but I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Does
Go.
this also, does this subject also help us in hacking in like future? This is random, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, this course, it is. Well, the objective of this course is basically teach you how to ride a bicycle. When you learn how to ride a bicycle, you will never forget that until you will never forget that. And adding that skill that now you know how to ride a bicycle, you can use it in different ways. You can carry stuff. Uh, you can use your riding bicycle stuff to carry some stuff. You can use it to do sports. You can use it to you ride it in a trail for different purposes. But this course is intended to give you the fundamental skills that you need to become a better programmer, to become a better administrator, or whatever profession that you later will choose.
Okay. No, makes sense, makes sense.
Did
Thank
that
you.
did that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of, like, I got it.
Perfect. Anything
Thank
else?
No,
Hello, sir. I just want to know that from where we can get the which activity we have to do for this week, and where we have to submit that activity after completing that.
Wonderful. I'll show you. I'll show you. This is the next thing I'm going to show you. This is everything we have for this course. Material that I post, a course material I post, activity files, anything that I post, you will find under here. Let me show you. You will basically find here. I can change it to students view. Here, course documents. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
Course
Yes, sir.
documents. You will see after class finishes, I will post the stuff here, and under every activity, you will see that there is a submit part.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yes. So
Thank you so
you
much.
will be able to do your activity and post it there. There is a video actually. There is a video created by our colleague here. Let me. You can later. You can take a look at this. This also I think helps a lot. And I'm sharing the link here. Guys, please watch this video. Even though activity has one main file that I will show, has a main activity file. It will walk you through step by step of what is expected to do. But this video also helps. Okay. All right. Back to slides.
Teacher, I have a question. Where I can find the assignment?
You will see this. I haven't posted this. I haven't posted this activity. Activity is assignment. So activities will be posted probably 10 minutes after class finishes. Our today's class will finish, and I will post those activities. You will find in Seneca Learn in the course documents, as I just showed.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Let's get into something. So this is the breakdown of the expectations. These are some of the. No matter how long the instruction is, you have to read that. So TLDR is not an option at all in ICT. TL is too long. DR is didn't read. That's a big no-no. In this industry, you will be given with manuals that are like hundreds of pages. You have to read all the details. So please do that. Please pay attention to all the details and don't just say, okay, I know this, so you can skip, unless you really know what that thing is. And please attend classes, even though they will be recorded. As I said, that you will find it under the join class button after class finishes, but please attend the classes so that we can discuss. Don't rely on activity stream. I'm not even going to show you where this activity stream is on Blackboard. Sorry, some people rely on this, and there is this. Some people fail the course because they relied on activity stream to tell them when the quiz is due, when a submission is due, and they fail because this doesn't work. Put everything, go through the details of announcements of this week. It tells you everything. There's no more than 3 deadlines, right? Attend at 11:40, attend the lectures at 11:40. Submit your activity of that week by the end of Sunday, 12 a.m. and attempt your quiz anytime in a time frame starting from Sunday 1 p.m. to Monday 1 p.m. Easy peasy, right? Just keep these things in mind and never trust the activity stream in the Blackboard. you might compare yourself with some other students right now. It will kill your joy, but it is a good good start. So you can compare yourself to other people's knowledge or skills and see what you don't have. Basically, you figure out what you don't know and what you don't have, and if you want, you can work on those. But overall, be okay. Every person is different, different skills, different knowledge depths, and things like that. So don't worry. By the end of the semester, you will all be professional ICT people. Starting from storage devices. So the first thing we, as a technical subject that we are learning today is the storage devices. Drive, root, folder, directory, file. So for Windows, this storage device is the hardware. We will talk about it soon. And drive is called a known piece of hardware to an operating system. Root is the same thing. Root is an equivalent to drive in Linux. So this is, people call drive in Windows and people call root in Linux. Folder, directory, same thing. So a piece of memory that you can put your stuff in, if it is on a Windows system, you usually refer to it as a folder, and in Linux it's directory. And file is a piece of information that you save somewhere. Computer storage, in terms of hardware, can be categorized into volatile and non-volatile places.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just have one question.
Yeah,
The
go
thing
on.
is this like the things you are teaching right now, that storage and all that, it is just for Linux, or it's an overall thing you are talking about right now? It's a whole of computer,
Yeah.
or like personally just about Windows or Linux or Mac or something like that, operating system?
This is in general. This is in general. I know you might be this question. Well, actually, in the world of computer,
Yeah.
as a whole, we have this concept of storage, and we are in the hardware level. So basically, yes, it applies to everything. So you have to have this physical hardware to be able to physically store data somewhere. It's like a room. You want to put some stuff in that room, and then assign somebody or employ somebody to ask him every time, okay, go get me this from that room. So now we're talking about that room as the main structure of the storage. So yeah,
Yeah,
we're
sure.
talking.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're
Thank you so
talking
much, sir.
about it as a whole.
General,
So
right? Yeah.
yeah, thank you. We have two type of memories. We have volatile memories and non-volatile memories. Obviously, you know, all these memories work when they are connected to electricity, right? Some of them still keep the data when they are disconnected from the electricity, and some still keep. Some lose data, some still keep. So those who lose the data as soon as they are disconnected from electricity, they are volatile memories. And non-volatile memories, like your flash memory, right? No matter if you connected your USB flash memory, no matter if you connect it or disconnect it, the data is there. But your RAM is not like that. Your computer RAM is not like that. As soon as you shut down your computer, gone. There's no data. Everything is clean. So this is important to know the differences. And when it comes to non-volatile or persistent storage, also they're called, we have two different types of memories: SSD, and HDD. SSD stands for solid state drives. So basically, this is a chip. This is a semiconductor die. This is a semiconductor chip inside this pack, inside this thing package, plastic package or ceramic package that you see is a piece of semiconductor that is capable of storing zeros and ones of your program that we call data. And this one is a old-fashioned hard drive, which is magnetic basically. So these are disks that run, and this header basically can be controlled, can be in a controlled fashion located on any piece of this data and can read this magnetically. These are no longer in use because they are cheap, but they can last for like 5 to 10 years maximum. But these are semiconductor, very low power, and they can now that technology can offer very large capacity for these memories, everybody is using these STD. More reliable, less power consumption, and this is the choice for many people. The problem with this kind of memory that we call attached memories, why we call them attached? Because they are directly attached to the hardware of your computer. So if you open your laptop, or if you open the case of your PC, you see these are connected directly to your motherboard. So fastest possible communication, fastest response time they have, but they are limited to scalability. So like you have problem with extending them. If you need more memory or hard drive, you can expand to some extent, you can add memory, but you cannot basically keep doing this forever. These are called direct attached storage. So direct attached storages are SSD and hard drive types. We have another type, storage area network. These are usually used in larger networks, industrial networks, or larger basically places that need to separate computation and storage. And the key to this storage area network is that the communication with the user and with the basically the processing part, as is shown here, storage area network. It's a very, very fast, usually typically fiber optic network. So this is as if you have a hard disk drive connected right beside you inside your laptop. The performance and the speed for this type of storage is almost the same as your hard drive, but a little bit more costly than other type of storages that we want to talk about. So you can, as soon as you connect to these in industry, as soon as you connect to these, a drive will be added and will be shown in the this operating system basically will detect that and will show you. Another one is high tier cloud. High tier clouds are like you probably hear a lot these days about Microsoft Azure and other, so AWS, Amazon AWS cloud. So these are services that have their own dedicated communication channel basically. And by keeping that and not letting users use that part, they basically dedicate it for communication between the storage, cloud storage, and user to maintain the speed. Another point, the last category of this, you may see skipping these a little faster than previous slides, because this is just, these are the things you need to keep in mind and just to know about. Network attached storage also we have. Very good examples are OneDrive for backup. You have OneDrive through Seneca, so you can download the OneDrive app and set the folders that you want to be synced. So every time you're updating your file, it gets automatically updated on the cloud. So this type of cloud storage basically is network attached storage. They are not as fast. As you will see, there is a delay in updating your online file, and they're not as sync as storage area network or high tier cloud, or obviously not like attached hard disk, but still they are very good for online OLTP, online transaction processing, because it doesn't require a very high speed, or very good for file archiving or using them as backup devices. So in this slide, it shows performance in terms of speed, communication speed, delay. Okay, now is it real time? If I update my file, will this be updated on the cloud right now without any delay? Okay, it depends. So this delay and the speed in the access, basically the amount of speed that you can get, for example, when you are downloading, uh, is uh, is sorted. Now these things are sorted from highest performance for direct attached storage to lowest performance, which are network attached storage. It's good to know these things. You might not directly deal with these, but some of them you do. Like OneDrive, in the activities, you will be asked to set up a OneDrive, test things with your OneDrive and stuff like that. For this store, we have two different type of costs for storage devices. One is the capital expense, or the money that you pay to buy this. Uh, in this example, for hard disk drive and SSD, capital expense for a given capacity of SSD memory is much higher than hard drive, because hard drives are outdated, they're less expensive. So the money that you pay to buy this is lower. For SSD is higher than hard drives. But operating expense is the money you pay for the electricity to run that. This might not seem as important when we're talking about hard drive or SSD, but when it comes to data centers, it becomes important. Believe it or not, many of these data centers, like Google has a lot of them, Microsoft has a lot of them, Amazon has a lot of them around the world. Each needs a power generator of in the scale of like 2 megawatt above, which is huge power they need just to run their data centers. So if we want to have a tangible example, a hard drive and SSD, hard drive requires more electricity to retrieve your data, because it has a rotor that rotates, controls that header. We have movement, stuff like that. So it consumes more power. So keep in mind, operating expense is the amount of money you pay to keep this storage running. We have very nice persistent storage these days. As I said, Microsoft Azure is one of them, or AWS, Amazon. These cloud storages are a little bit more expensive than internet file serving, right? OneDrive, Dropbox, things that you just use to upload your stuff and use as a backup. But in the first type, not only you have the capability to store your data, but also you can do computation. So they also offer you computation. You can run your programs, you can upload new programs, test your programs, and basically they give you that they are a complete computer, but it's remote. But the internet file serving, just they just offer you this persistent storage remotely. They are reliable. The backup is occasionally done on those, and you can just upload your stuff and keep there. Are we good so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful.
No question, sir.
Guys, I will give you a break next week. Okay, today we cannot afford that because this is our first lecture. We cannot afford any break. Maybe just 2 minutes. Just a 2 minute break. It's now my time is 1:34, 1:36 in front of your computers. Can I ask that favor? Please. Okay, see you at 1:36. Just a 2 minute break. Okay. Okay. Let's see who who got here on time. Are you here?
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Who's here? Please
Hello.
respond to this poll. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, I see a lot of people are here on time. Let's continue. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Actually, sir, I was late today.
Vitali, was that you?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, what was your question?
I said I was late today.
No worries. You will see.
Uh,
You can watch the video.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, you will find this online very soon. Okay, so we talked about drive, operating system, these concepts, storage device. So how do these connect? Basically, a drive is a piece of a storage device that is recognized by an operating system. In Windows, this happens automatically. So as soon as it's called mounting, as soon as you connect a new piece of memory or hardware, you can see you can see Windows updates it and like recognizes it, communicates with it's not magic. Every single piece of hardware has its own firmware, that everything is defined in that piece of firmware, typically C code. Um, so it says how much capacity this new piece of storage device has, how you can communicate with me, what is the communication protocol, blah 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 blah, and all that. So Windows automatically detects, they're called drivers as well, like firmwares of those hardwares are called drivers. So you can go to Windows Device Manager, you can see the drivers. So these are communication results of your operating system with the firmware of those hardware parts. In Windows, it's automatic. In Linux, it's not. So you have to manually set that. That's called mounting. So any piece of hardware that is known to an operating system is called a drive. Then once you have a drive, you can start writing or reading and communicating basically with that. In Windows, people typically divide their storage device to drive C, drive D, drive E. These days, people usually are doing drive C because probably they see it's a good practice from Linux, but Linux has only one root. So it doesn't have drive C, D, or whatever. It's just one root, and from that root, everything is derived. And if we want to a little bit more closely look at these words, we have file as a piece of known code for both the operating system in terms of the location of that storage, and also using its extension known to operating system as file of what application software it belongs to. We will reach to that point. And data, we mean a sequence of formatted symbols. So if you open up a file, which you will during this activity, you will see it's just some lines of code. Sometimes if you open, for instance, an image file, you will see that if you open with in a notepad or text editor, you will see just jumbling, mumbling thing you don't understand. Software is the piece of code, is the application that we write, and the operating system realizes that's what the installation process is. So basically, your operating system says, okay, now I know how to communicate with this application. Now I know what this application will require from me, and I know how to give data to this, and I know how to read data from this, and we're good. Basically, they are handshaking. So that process is called installing a software. And in terms of information, okay, there's a difference between information and data. Data is just data, just random data. But information is what you extract from a data. So it has more meaning. It has concept in it. It has more meaning. It's not just some random random data. Formatting is important. Now it's an example. Now look at different variations of this sentence composed of same data. So this, if you're now we are dealing with a higher level, which is information. So information has been extracted by formatting this data. We give format, and each sentence means a different thing. So it is important to know the difference between data and information. Why do we need to have directories, and why do we need to have why bother? Like, put everything there and let operating system know where to put these. But it is impossible. One thing that makes it impossible is that you definitely will have files with same names. If you don't have different in that room, in that storage room, if you don't have different cabinets, if different places to put same stuff there, it's impossible to know which one you want, right? So this hierarchy is important to the operating systems to basically as a protocol to tell the operating system which file you want. I want the file with this name, which I know is in so many different places, but I want you to go to this place and give me that file. So for that, we have path and file structures, which are different between Windows and Linux. So in Windows, we use, by the way, this example shows probably better. Here, it starts with drive cd blah blah, but in Linux we just have root. Everything is in one single place, even if they are hardware wise separated. If you have two different hardwares, still they are merged and they form one root. Users and sorry, and then to complete this path, we use backslash for Windows and everything else, Linux, Mac also, I think, and anything else is as forward slash. This just convention goes back to old Windows days, but anyways, this is backslash. The other one is forward slash for any non-Windows operating systems. So the full path name is starts from the main drive, CD or whatever, and then backslash subfolders until it reaches the name of the file and then the extension. You might not see these extension until you activate basically check the checkbox to show all the extensions. It's a good practice to do that. I will show in the next slide. By the way, let me see here. Nothing left. Why do we even know to? Let me show you this slide first. See here. So, for example, on Windows, you can go to you can open up a location wherever you want and click on View. Then here, check this file name extension. I want to see file name extensions. Then it will show you the file name extensions. Are these extensions useful? Well, it's not mandatory for a file to have a file extension. You can save any text file without an extension. But the problem is that the operating system might have difficulty understanding which application to use to read this file or to execute this file. But it's not mandatory. So we can have files stored in our storage without any extension. But you have to tell manually, you have to tell what software I want you to open this file with. Some extensions that is good to know. Doc or by the way, they all start after the last dot. So in this naming, you can have some dot before this. So you can have cp4p dot week1 dot docs, but always the last dot will be considered by the operating system. Doc or docs, Microsoft Word, we have text file, JPG, image file, XLS or XLSX, Microsoft Excel, HTML or HTML files, PDF, JavaScript, zip file, you name it. Every single application defines its own extension, which can have a maximum 5 letters in it, not more than 5 in Windows. Then based on that, one of the things during installation is that operating system understands what extensions belong, what file extensions belong to the software. So that's one of the things also happen during installation. Directory structure. So as we talked about this structure, this hierarchical tree structure, for these, everything is every folder is inside another folder and inside another folder until you reach root in Linux or you reach the drive in Windows. Naming conventions are important sometimes. Have you ever realized you've spent like 2 minutes on what name to give to a file? To me happens. You can choose,
Yes, sir.
right? You don't know. You have a file and you want to save and you want to remember, but you think, okay, what should I call this?
Yeah.
Like it's 2 minutes past. I don't know what to call this. Oh, screw it. Okay, I'm gonna say
Yeah, I
one.txt,
just type anything that comes into my head, sir,
right?
after, lots
Uh,
of thinking.
exactly, and it makes it difficult. So after 2 days, you come back, see one.txt. What is this file? You have to open it. But we can have a naming convention. We can give more meaningful names, uh, which uh, can reflect basically the content of that file, and it can reflect version. If it is a program that you're developing, it can reflect the version. It can reflect the author. It can be, like many times happens, you're a group of people working on the same project. So in that case, including the person that this file has been made by is also important. Looking at these examples, each has some problem. For example, the first one seems complete. Okay, it shows like it's a development project. Very good. If I go to my folder for CPR 101, at least I know what kind of file I'm looking at. This is a development project. Then it has my name. It doesn't have a version. One other problem it has is using space. Space is uh, is a legitimate thing to use, but it's not recommended because, for instance, if you create an HTML and HTML file and the naming, you put a space there, it makes things a little bit messed up. You might not be able uh, to open that HTML, or you might not be able to call a CSS file in that HTML if that CSS file has some space in the file name. So fine, it's fine. It's not illegal. It's permitted. You can use a space, but it's not recommended. Also, we have like each has some problem here. What is, like, look at this one, DVPRG4. Maybe you can guess. Okay, DV, maybe is it development project? Maybe you can guess, but it's up to you. The more you can choose a naming convention and follow that in your computer. It makes things more organized, more meaningful, and saves you a lot of time. Um, this slide is part 2 of the activity. Part 2 of the activity, you're asked to basically move some files around by keeping mouse left pressed or right pressed. You will see the difference. For instance, you're asked to add a USB flash memory connected, and then try to move try to basically drag and try to drop in USB flash, or drag and drop in the desktop, same location, different scenarios. see what happens. This is good to play with. So in summary, if you want to move files from your local storage to a mounted external storage, such as USB drive, drive, the default, if you just drag and drop, is copy. But if it is your local storage, anywhere in your local storage, drag and drop is move. So it moves there, and you will no longer see that file in the previous place, the place that you moved it from. Play with these things, they come handy. I would like to, okay, so far this is basically when we reach here, it means we have covered our materials, our agenda of storage file and storage devices, basically from hardware to more practical things that you deal with in your daily activities. Next, I'm going to show you Visual Studio, but before that, and after that, after Visual Studio, I will review the activity of this week. But before that, are we good so far? Do you have any questions?
No, sir. All good.
Wonderful. How about everybody? Let me
All good. All
me
good, sir.
put up a poll here. Put up a poll. Are we good so far? That means if you say no, it means you have to ask. You have a question that you have to ask. We will have from next week, we will try to have a lunch break, guys. I know it's probably, well, for those in Toronto, it's lunchtime. For those in India or other time zones, dinner time probably. So we will try to have a very short break, maybe 5 to 10 minutes in between, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so that you can have a sorry for this week. It was impossible to cover all these things and also have breaks. So I'm sorry about that, but I promise you we will have break in between. I know 3 hours is a lot. So we'll do that. Thank you so much. 30 people said they're good with this. Thanks so much. Let's continue to Microsoft Visual Studio. Proudly the best programming IDE. IDE is Integrated Development Environment, which gives you all the tools you need from writing the code, debugging your code. It tells you syntax errors. It helps you a lot. It auto-completes. It helps you a lot to write a good piece of code, and then it compiles it and runs it for you. What we use is Microsoft Visual Studio. First, guys, if you have not installed this, I need you, if you have not already installed and used this, I need you to please go to Google it. So let me show you. Go and Google Microsoft Visual Studio. So you will, the first link will be this page. Does everybody see the Microsoft Visual Studio page on their screen? Maybe. Tell me if you see anything except then Microsoft Visual Studio.microsoft.com page. On this page, this is what you should download. Visual Studio 2022. This is the latest version, so you will have to download community version 2022, Microsoft Visual Studio 2022 community version, which is a non-enterprise. This is for people like you and me, hobbyists, people that use it for learning purpose, not for commercial product. So it doesn't require a license. You can download and install this community version easily. Please do that. And there isn't an offer. Don't use this. Mac guys, please listen to me. Don't install this. It doesn't have the capabilities that this version offers you. So don't install this. Instead, as I said, go do bootcamp, go do virtual machine, preferably, and then install Windows, and then install Visual Studio for Windows on your Windows machine that runs on Mac, basically. We have Visual Studio Code as well. This is a lightweight program. I personally sometimes use it. It's good, but it doesn't have all the capabilities that Visual Studio has. So this is a no for this course. Go install it if you like, but for this course we will use Visual Studio. Install this. After you install Visual Studio, when you run the program, let me close this. This was a project from before. Okay, Paul, I'm not sure. Let's do this. Okay, after you install this, and by the way, this is also the must-have IDE for your IPC 144. So come on here. So Microsoft, you just say Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. You open this, create a new project. In this create a new project, make sure you select C++, even though you will be writing C code, but C is basically what C++ is built upon, and C also is supported in C++. So in general, C++ should be selected here. There's no C. You can select what kind of application you are writing. So here we want to write a Windows console application, and from here choose console. Based on these preferences, there will be a set of suggestions for you. Always select empty project. Why? Because if you choose other type of projects, there will be some template given to you, and sometimes you might not need that template. You have to delete things and write it by yourself. Or in our case, it's a good practice every time you start initializing your code. Does everybody, is there any person that doesn't see my screen? I'm creating a new project in Visual Studio. Please unmute yourself and let me know.
They're all is visible. Your screen.
Your screen is visible.
Okay. You see Visual Studio I'm creating there. Very good.
Yes.
So you select empty project. You click next. Here, you have to select the directory anywhere. Like I'm gonna put it on my desktop for now. You give a name to your project. Welcome. CPR 101. Check this. This check mark usually puts everything together in a directory, and it's useful for all the projects that we are working. People don't check this if every single person is working on on a separate piece of project, so they want their files to be separated. But in our case, this should be checked. Click create, and it will open the Visual Studio IDE for you. If by default you might see different windows here, but the most important window you need is this Solution Explorer. Solution Explorer, click on Solution Explorer. As you know, or you will know, in C programming we have header files and source files. If we want to, header file is a file that we keep the header part of our code, like include all compiler directives, stuff like that. But here I'm creating a source code, so I click source code, I add a new item, and a new item. CPP is the file extension for C++. So I'm gonna change it to C, and here you can give main, because I'm writing the main program, and this will open an empty an empty page, not a template, an empty page for you to write. So as we know, all C codes start from first you include some basically standard input output, stdio dot header, sorry, stdio stdio dot h. Then write your, this is what you should always do. Your main, then your main always returns an int, and that return can be anything. In our case, I'm putting return 0, and why do we do this? Because you can, based on this, you can, at the output you can see if the program has run properly. If everything has gone properly, well, no errors, no bugs, nothing, you will see that program has returned 0. You will see in the window, and that makes it that tells you that everything was fine. Then we're going to print a message. That's what we're gonna do. Printf, if I can type, printf, and here I'm writing welcome to CPR 101 MPP section. Wonderful. Every statement in C ends with a semicolon. See, it's very smart. Like Visual Studio is very smart. It checks as you are typing, as you are programming, and if there is something wrong, it shows you what's wrong. So it tells me that it was expecting a semicolon, and I didn't put a semicolon. This is our first program. Your first activity also will be this. So do this at home. You can either so from here you can say build a solution which will compile this and run, or simply Control F5, and Control F5 will build this for you and will show the welcome message here. Welcome to CPR. This is called console, right? This is called console in Windows, and our program returned 0, which means everything was fine. If I click again, that will close. This is basically what you should do for first download Microsoft Visual Studio. Do this activity there. Any questions?
Sir,
Yes.
When I go to install the Visual Studio, it shows me a bunch of different workloads. I don't know which one I should select.
Okay, good. Let's see. Are you here?
Uh,
Are you on this page?
I can see your screen.
Oh, didn't I share this? Oh, sorry. This page.
No, I already downloaded it and I was installing it, and after it shows me.
Send me a screenshot or like post it on, because I don't know what you see now. Depending on what you see, but it should be quite straightforward. You just go there, community version. You see the setup exe has already been downloaded here, so you just click here. It's everything is next. Just run it and everything should be next. But in case you face any error, post a screenshot or send me a screenshot, and I will know what the error is, or I will give more comments on that.
Okay,
Are
I
you
sent
good?
you a screenshot on Teams.
Okay, we'll look at that.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, I have one question. The thing is, after we create a new project, like welcome to, then that screen is appearing like references, external dependencies, header files, resource files, and source files. What to do in that, sir?
Here. So when you create
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
project, yes, you go here, you go to Solution Explorer, you click on source file, you right click on source files, and then add
Yeah.
a new item. And in that
Yeah.
add new item, you have to put the name of the project, like as I did, main .c, because this is not a CPP program. You're writing in C language, so just write main.c and click add. Then this file will be added here. Then you can click on this. You can write your code. Control F5. It compiles it and runs this.
So, like we can also run that code by using that like local Windows debugger thing too, or like just we need to do Control F5 only.
No, you can't. This actually, you can check some line here, and this puts a debugging point. This defines a debugging point. In this case, if you click on this, this runs the program in the debugging mode up until that line. You see now it is in this line, and if I press F11, it will F11. It will continue to the next line. But if you want to debug your program, you choose this. So you put a breakpoint and you click on continue with debugging. If you don't want to, you can stop debugging here. You click the other one. It's Control F4. Start
F5. Yeah.
Start
Yeah.
without debugging. So this ignores any breakpoint that you put here. This just compiles and runs the whole program for you.
Yeah, sure, sir. Got it. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, please.
Will you upload this week's activity after this lecture?
Yes, immediately after the lecture. By immediately, I mean like 10 minutes after the lecture, you will have access to PowerPoint slides and all the activity files, obviously.
And the quiz on Sunday 1 p.m., right?
1 p.m. on Sunday, not today.
Okay.
1 p.m.
Okay,
Sunday.
thank you.
This is because I want you to go review slides, do activity. The most important thing is activity. So first you should do the activity. Once you feel comfortable with all the concept, everything, then you start your quiz. Do that after this, review material, download Microsoft Visual Studio, blah, blah, make everything ready for the activity. Do the activity, submit the activity by Sunday night. And in the time window of Sunday 1 p.m. Until Monday 1 p.m. EST time, do the conversion if you need, if you're in a different time zone. That's the time you should attempt your quiz. You can attempt once, everything closed, no talking, no phone, no Google, and then do the quiz. Please.
Okay, sir.
Develop this as a habit. Everything is closed. Just concentrate on your quiz and rely on your wonderful brain, because this can give you any solution that you want anytime. You don't have access to Google every time, but you have your brain with you all the time. Okay, what else? Now,
Nothing, sir. I got it.
wonderful. Let's look at the activity you will have this week. Okay, the activity is here. Here. So I will post this zip file together with this with a PDF file of this PowerPoint. What you see, guys? Somebody tell me what you see now on the screen.
Like we can see your screen, like you have written CP4P week 1 activity.
There
That
you
zip file is there,
Okay,
and the
so
PowerPoint is there.
nice. You've seen the correct thing then. So you will be able to download these two files from course documents today, like in half an hour maybe, and then unzip this. If you don't know, please do this. Right click and extract files, either here or extract files to a folder with the same name. That's what I have done. So you have to extract. You cannot modify files when they are zipped, even though you can see just if I double click on this, it will show what I have here, right? It will even also open the file, but you have to unzip first to be able to modify them. And there you will see this is the main file of the activity. It tells you what to do step by step. So first read this one. We have 4 different parts for our activity. This is the submission part I talked. You will find it here, and also you will see under the course documents. We have 4 activities here. Activity 1 is Visual Studio. Think the thing that I just showed you and writing that simple code. You don't need to, guys, you don't need to send me your source code. You just need to copy paste to a report file that I will show now. Then in part 2, we have 4, if you open this activity work files, you will see 4 files with wrong extensions. You have to figure out by probably opening, right clicking on the file. This is not a BMP file, for instance. If I click this, we will see nonsense. It doesn't show anything because it's a wrong file extension. In this activity, we want you to figure out what is the correct extension, modify the extension, and then you'll be able to do it. How you do that? You have to right click and open this with the text editor. For example, if you don't have Notepad++, you can download and install. It's a free tool. Or if you don't have, you can always open with Notepad. I don't even have Notepad here. I have to find. So let me for now open it with Notepad++. But if you don't have it, you can open it with Notepad. So from here, you see text. Okay, so this looks like a text or something. So obviously this is not a BMP file. So I don't know. You will figure out. But the first clue is open that file, not just by double clicking, because the file extension is wrong. It will not be opened correctly. So right click, open with Notepad++. It will give you some clue what kind of file it is. All right, this is the second activity. The third activity here, is you will go through dragging and dropping your files around your computer on local parts of your computer, from a local storage to a local storage, from a local to an external one like your USB flash, and things like that. So you will practice, and then this is the part for managing and backupping your files. This is the part that you will be directed to OneDrive, that you have So, for example, if you log into your email, when you open your Seneca email, here, if you click on Outlook, you see OneDrive here. This OneDrive is a free, I guess, 1 terabyte storage online. One of those file storage types, one of those network connected storage types that is freely available for you through Seneca subscripts, through being Seneca student. You can create backup. It asks for the activity asks for the difference between storing your backup on a flash memory somewhere else, OneDrive, blah blah. You can practice this, and what you will post finally is let me see here. What you will post is this report template file. Basically, all the activities are here. You will submit this, people. This is the only file in the form of docs. Don't make PDF. Please fill in this everything, your information first, and then it asks you the questions. Each lead you to an activity. You do the activity. You reflect your answer here in these boxes. So you will submit one file only, and that's this Microsoft Word file. I will grade your activity based on this. So as we discussed, every activity is here. There's also a link by our colleague. As I posted the link here, I will also make sure to post it on your documents, course document part. Yeah, that's more. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say these slides has more to it. If I can show, this is the last thing. Then I will come back. Let me see, in 3 years, if I can find what I'm going to show. Here, this is slide. These slides have more to them. If you will have access to slides after this. These will not be included in the quiz, but it's good to know. So you will find. I will not explain these in the. I will not explain these in the course. I will just let you ask questions if you have any. These are very useful material. Please read them at home for yourself. Not included in the quiz, but really recommended to review and know. This is this part. Next time you come, the first thing we will do is basically we will pick up random submissions and we will ask questions from people that have submitted those questions. So I will ask, okay, so let's pick up something, some submission, and I will ask some questions for the person that has submitted to elaborate on their answer. So you say, okay, my answer to this question is this. Okay, could you please explain your answer to this submission? Is everybody okay with this?
Okay, sir.
Is everybody okay with this? Any suggestions, any questions, anything?
Sir, I got a question.
Yes, go ahead, please, Victor.
So I heard that when we finish the activity in a doc file, and then for our next step, we need to submit through online. But I'm not sure. Like I want to know where is the submit location or the submit box that we should attend it to.
Oh, that I can show you very quickly now. Sure. See, let me just do this. Tell me, Victor, what do you see now?
Yeah, I can see your we're in a Blackboard right now.
Okay, wonderful. So you will in 10 minutes you can go to course documents. Well, obviously we will not see these. What you will see is now activity 1. Activity 1, if I make it available. I made it available. I'll switch to students view and I will see now I'm in course document. So this will be visible to you in 10 minutes. Now it's now visible, but I will try to check a couple things. You will download that zip file that I told you. Also, I will add slides here. And when
Right.
you want to submit, you click on File Systems here.
Right.
Here, come down here. And here is where you will submit your activity. Browse local files and go there, attach the completed MS Word file and press
Right.
submit. Don't press write submission. This is something else, guys. Press submit. Locate your file in that activity. Locate your file by browsing your local files and then submit. That I think an email will also be sent to you confirming that your submission has been received or something like that.
Perfect. That's really clear. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, you're very welcome. Any other questions, guy? Okay, have yourself a wonderful week and weekend. This is the end of our class. Raised hand. Heidi, yeah, you have a question, Heidi?
Yes, is there a textbook you would recommend?
No textbook really covers all these things. So not that I can say, okay, go read this textbook, but for each topic that we discuss, you can find plenty of material online and in different different books. So for this course, there is no recommended book. The main source is things that we discussed during lectures, and you can find related topics. These are based fundamental things, so you can find plenty of material if you want to extend your knowledge on these topics, and you can find many of them online, I'm sure. If you couldn't, just let me know like what you're interested in, and I can give you some hint. Does that work for you?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Anything else? Okay, go ahead. Bejoy, you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. My question is that after doing the assignments, we have to submit it to the ones that you have said right now. After that, you said that you will ask questions. So how to answer the questions? You have to write it in the MS Word documents, the answer, or you will just ask it in the class itself.
If I got your question correctly, I'm not sure. So from now until Sunday night, you have enough time to work on the activities. If you face a problem, if you have questions, post on our MS Teams. I'll make sure to accept all the invitations. And by the end of Sunday night, Sunday 12 a.m., you will you have to submit the MS Word file where you have typed your answer to those questions, which basically are the answer how you did, like the result of what happened during those activities. So you do those activities and you report in those boxes for each question. That's what you submit. Before that, during this, like until then, until Sunday, if you have any questions, you can post on Microsoft Teams and me or some other students will definitely reply back to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very welcome. Anything else? Okay.
No, sir.
Wonderful. Simrat, again, I see you raise your hand. Any questions? Do you have any question or this is a wrong raise? Wrong. Typing. All right. Okay, it's a wrong raise. Have yourself a wonderful week and weekend. We'll see you next Wednesday. By the way, you will find the recordings in the lunch soon. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Take care.
Bye, Sam.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
See you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
See you
Bye,
all
sir.
next Wednesday.